Greetings everyone, and welcome to Mahokenshi, a new turn-based strategy card battler, developed by GameSource Studio and published by Iceberg Interactive, who are sponsoring today's video. So huge thanks to them for giving me the chance to check out this awesome new title, and of course for the bag full of coins. Now, for those familiar with other titles from the deck builder genre, there will be a lot of familiarity in the core concept presented here in Mahokenshi. This game takes a step away from the traditional trappings in the genre, though, by focusing on a narrated campaign complete with main quests and side missions. Though for fans of the roguelite element, worry not. While there is a campaign to follow, Mahokenshi manages that without abandoning the kind of dopamine drip of meta progression and getting to try out entirely different deck builds for each character from one mission to the next. And that's actually something that I think this game does really, really well. It's managed to bundle in a more traditional campaign structure without abandoning some of the, well, certainly for me, the more pleasing elements of deck building games, and that is playing with different kinds of decks and exploring what you could do if you make ever so slight changes to the synergies between your cards. But I could honestly waffle on for like 5 or 10 minutes. There's so much to talk about this game and so much to appreciate. But as always, it's a lot easier to show than to describe. So with that, let's go ahead and dive into the game at the third story mission, and the first where we get to leave the more structured on-rails tutorial feel of the previous two. And then at the end of that mission, we'll take a few minutes then to dive into the meta progression and character unlocks that weave each mission together. Scorching Menace. The cult has unleashed an evil and powerful beast. You must slay it. There are 4 challenges in this mission, so let's get to it.
Well-defended castles protect magical gemstones that hold the power of the kami. The cult is seeking these gems and has unleashed a blazing oni to retrieve them.
Oh, scallywags.
Stop it from reaching the castle, or nothing but ashes will remain.
Okay, so as with the previous mission, this is probably going to be in some degree a timed mission. I have only unlocked 2 of the Mahokenshi currently. There are 4. For this one, though, I'm going to play with Kaito, who focuses a bit more on defense and using their defense in an offensive way, versus Ayaka, who's the Mahokenshi that you start the game with and the one that you go through the tutorials with, who is much, much more in favor of offense and doesn't really have a lot of defensive focused cards. But let's jump into this. We'll also get to pick an artifact. These you unlock by playing through the various missions. And for this one, and given that we are playing a very defensive character, either go with scaled armor here, or we can grab this. Now, all of these artifacts are on a cooldown, so it isn't like a constant passive, but rather, in the right situation, this could allow us to stack up quite a lot of spikes on our character. And if you're familiar with similar styles of card battler games, especially things like Slay the Spire, where as you gain buffs or as you gain debuffs, they decrease by 1 point per turn. So if we were surrounded by several enemies, we could actually stack many turns worth of spikes onto our character. And I think that's what we're going to go with here. We're going to go with a spiked helmet. There we go, and we shall start. Now, defeat the Burning Oni. Fail to protect the castle. Well-defended castle protect magical gemstones. We already heard that before. Now, one of the other things that I have unlocked through the kind of meta progression in the game is the ability to select a common card to start with. This card costs no energy, but you have to discard 2 other cards in order to gain 2 energy. This one gains 8 defense and draws a card for 1 energy. This one costs an energy. First strike, deal 8 damage and gain 8 defense. But if you're prepared, deal 16 damage instead, but gain no defense. Prepared X. This effect will only be played if X cards or more have already been played this turn. So if I'd already played 3 cards, then instead of gaining 8 damage and 8 defense with this one, I would simply do 16 damage to an enemy. But I think we're going to go with parry. We'll continue to build defensively. Okay, that is the enemy gate. That is the Flaming Oni. Where is the castle? The castle's pretty much as far away from them as it could be, and we've got a bit of time. Now, from what I've seen in the past missions, at least with the timed ones, you do kind of need to prioritize. Some of them aren't timed, but even those might have an escalating difficulty for the longer you take. So in many cases, it's not grabbing everything, but making some strategic choices on what you want to grab. Now, up here, there doesn't seem to be anything, so we're really not expected to go in this direction, though I do wonder if maybe we could somehow. There are some cards that I discovered during the tutorial that might have allowed us to bridge that gap, and maybe that would be a certain challenge. Now, in terms of what we're seeing on the board, these contain money. These are like coffers. These are enemies, and you can click on more or less anything and get information. For example, here we see that they've got a surveilling range of 2. So they see everything in this highlighted area around here. If you move into that tile, they'll change from surveilling to tracking, and they'll actually come to you to try and engage. Every tile has a different benefit. For example, hills here would give you combat benefit, mountains give you combat and defense, forests just give you defense, and plains have no particular effect. We've got certain special areas like villages where you can buy new cards. Another village over there. Are there any dojos around here? Is that a dojo? Yes, there we are. So you can upgrade your card to the dojo, and many of the interactions you'll have with the various sites on the map will be subject to certain upgrades that you can choose to take as you develop your character. But these are probably the more important ones. The Altar of Energy increases your base energy. Altar of Strength increases base strength. And again, if you're familiar with these kinds of card battlers, Slay the Spire, Monster Train, you're probably familiar with the idea that more of any of these kinds of things is generally a very good thing. So not anything to be sniffed at. But ultimately, we are effectively starting ahead of the Oni, so we can take our time a little bit. Now, we could grab this coffer, and maybe grab all of these coffers in this card. It's a little bit more of a tricky battle, but then we could hit the village, grab the strength, go up here. These are common card draws, but these glowing ones are rare card draws. There's another rare card down there. We might have enough time if we've got some certain movement cards, because our deck is split into combat cards and movement cards, which I'll cover in a moment. But we might want to hit a couple of these rare ones at the very least, and maybe going a little bit out of our way, depending on the situation with the Oni. But let's start things off. We want to go down here. Now, every tile has got a move cost. You can see that in here. This will cost us 2 energy. Now, this is where the travel cards come into play. For 1 energy, I can move 1 tile. Doesn't matter on the cost. So if this was mountains, which would normally cost 3 energy to move in, it would still only cost me 1 energy. Plus, this gives me some defense. So I'm going to start by moving through there. I've gained a little bit of extra defense. We're going to head on out, grab some cash. That will be useful if we go to dojos or marketplaces, so on and so forth. Now, if we want to get up here, it'll only cost me 2. It'll cost me 2 to get up there, so 3 in total. I won't have enough, but I could move into the forest for 2 and allow my enemy to approach. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, and that is the end of our turn. They are going to approach and attack, and they managed to do enough damage to get through our armor and do a little bit of damage to us. But now they've played a card, we should be able to see some of the cards they have. So they've got a Clumsy Slash. Now that green number there indicates that they're gaining the benefit of the hill. If they weren't on a hill, they wouldn't have been able to pierce my defenses there. They've only got they've got no defensive bonus from being on a hill, so 2 strike cards. One of them is upgraded again because of upgrades in the meta progression between missions. Each mission, your entire deck resets, so there's a roguelike element to this game in a way. Let's head on over here. Now, you're a bit more of a tricky one. You're a much higher level, but you don't see as far. So, I think you would activate if we moved here. I wouldn't have any more energy either way, but we're going to grab this card, we're going to grab the coffer, and then move on. Let's move in. Now, as far as the common cards, I could provoke a target, forces the target enemy to try and come into melee range within the limits of its maximum energy. Piercing Thrust, deal 10 damage. From planes, reduce the target's defense by 15. That's actually a very nice card. Draw 1 card and deal 8 damage. I'm a big fan of being able to draw more cards, especially if you keep like a tight specialized deck, so that you've got the better chance of getting the card combinations that you want. So I'm going to grab that one. Now, you don't have any particular defense to speak of, so we should be able to just get straight in here. Still, I would like to draw another card, so let's open up with 8 damage. There we go. And we have Strike Plus. Sadly, we do not. That's fine. We'll be able to still finish this fight. And you do get a little bit of cash for every fight that you win as well. There we go. Now, you can use travel cards from within combat. You're not like locked in combat, and that it doesn't seem to be any kind of zone of control that you need to worry about. Let's go grab you. Now, sadly, we're not going to be able to get in there, but that is the direction we want to go. It is possible that I would draw the right card. Either way, I'll play it anyway, and we'll see. No, we didn't get the dash card anyway. Now, the Oni is mostly having to traverse rough terrain, but there are some places where it's only going to cost 1 energy per turn. How much energy do you have? You have 3 energy per turn, just 1 less than me. You've also got a bonus. Deals 5 damage back to the attacker after taking damage. I wonder if that triggers if they take damage from attacking you. That might be an interesting one. Either way, we've got a nice stack of coins there. Let's head on over. Another coffer there. We're going to activate you, but that's fine. I don't mind this attack. Now, if I can utilize my dash cards correctly here, we might be able to go and grab this after taking that and then come on back down. But it really does depend on what my draw is like, because I don't want to waste too much time going through these mountains. They're very expensive to traverse. Right, let's allow our enemies to approach. Again, on hill, so they were able to get through my very meager defenses on the plains. And once again, no really good cards, but at least we can take you out in 1 attack there. I could get over here for 2 points. That will activate both of you. Let's have a look at what cards you've got for sale here. Okay, you've got Ice Manipulation, which is definitely something that I think would be good for us. Range 4, charge an enemy, dealing damage equal to your defense. This would allow us to traverse 4 tiles for only 1 energy. This is absolutely worth it. Pebble, Torrential Blow, deal 8 damage and inflict 4 weakness. Weakness reduces damage dealt by 1 per charge. Much like many games in the genre, if you hover over a card, it will quite often tell you any of the specific status effects that it's going to apply and explain what they are. But spikes, super good. It's a rare card as well. This turn, gain 1 spike whenever you enter a tile. Absolutely worth 100 for us. Now, I don't want to bloat my deck too much. There's often strategy involved in that you don't want to expand your deck out too aggressively. But I could use Tackle at this point to perhaps get up there and take that if I'm very, very lucky. In fact, I could use it here to just move up onto this mountain tile for 1 cost. That is not bad. We've already gained 4 defense for being here as well. I'm going to take a little bit of damage. They can possibly get to me, but maybe not. Oh no, they could get to me, and they were able to attack as well. So we did take a chunk of damage there. Now then. Okay, we haven't really got the best cards, I'm going to be honest here. Let's take care of you. Now moving down there, it's the cost to move off the tile. It doesn't involve anything on the tile you're on. From here though, I can take you out as well as draw a card. Sadly, I didn't draw charge or safe travel, but tackle is still there. Sorry, yeah, tackle I meant to say. Now this one will increase our base strength. Absolutely worth us going to grab. So let's do that. Oh, I've activated you. Ultra Strength. Yes, please. +2 base strength. Let's have a look at you. You're an archer by the look of it. And you've got a range of 2, deals 6 damage. Okay. Well, let's move back. You are going to be able to close this distance. That's just the way it's going to be. But I want to grab that gold if I can, move up, and then try and dash over to that tile, if we're able to. You are going to do a chunk of damage to him. There's not a lot I can do about it. Well, I mean, I could close distance and kill you, but... ooh. No, these are the cards I want. Alright, first and foremost, playing this card. There we are. Now I'm going to dash up here for 1 bit of energy. We're going to move over here, and all the while we're stacking up spikes. Now, can I reach you? I can. Will this work? Have I technically entered those tiles? Don't know, but let's have a look at what we've got. Deal 20 damage. If it's a fatal attack, you'll get double the target's gold reward. Or Geyser Eruption. It's got an area effect, does 8 damage per adjacent enemy. Or Battle Hardened. Area 1, deal 15 damage, fatal attack, upgrade 1 card in my hand. For the entire battle? But it costs 3 energy to do, though. Oof. It's kind of tempting, I'm not going to lie. The fact that it's area damage 15. It would cost me that much energy to do 15 damage to a single target using basic strike. So this seems like an okay pickup for me. And we did gain a bunch of spikes from hitting all of those tiles. That was well worth the movement there. Now, you're going to probably try and back off from this, but the spikes now mean that if I get attacked, even from range, I will do 5 damage back. Which is very, very nice indeed. Now, they weren't able to cross enough distance to attack. Right, let's move in. And I think you've got no defense, so I may as well attack. There we go. And then we're going to follow through and grab another rare. Okay, we've got Whirlpool. Area 1, damage 6, gain 3 defense per adjacent enemy. That would be quite nice. Or range 3, charge an enemy, towards danger. This is a lower version of the other card we have of the same nature, but still very, very much worth our time. This is going to allow us to cross a lot of terrain. Potentially for very, very low cost. Okay, there we go. I am a big fan so far of the missions that I've played in stacking travel cards. It's very easy to feel like, well, they're not going to help me in battle, so they're not really that useful, but I definitely feel the travel cards are a big part of this game. Oni's making good progress. We have lost a fair bit of health here, though, I'm going to be honest. 19 damage wouldn't kill you, sadly. 13 damage would just about. I could use this to upgrade a card in my hand. Maybe. Might be worth it. Let's do it. And then finish this off. Yes. And that is going to allow me to upgrade a card. This will gain 2 spikes whenever you enter a tile. Now that is a big upgrade for that one. That is going to allow us to stack spikes enormously. As you can see, we're still draining the spikes that we initially built up. Now, are you going to get within range? Not quite. Good, good, good. I could use tackle. There's a village, but I'm kind of liking my deck at the moment. I'm not in a big hurry to change that. We have got a shrine. Destroy cards from your deck. So, again, you might want to remove deck bloat. I could get down there, and I would be within range of hitting either one of you. This will also give us a big chunk of defense. That was nice. Took you out. Okay, gain defense and draw another card. On the off chance that I might get a particularly powerful one. Let's see what we can do. Okay, 2 strikes is good enough. Let's go for it. We won't kill you, but when you attack me, you'll die. There we go. And we'll gain a little bit of gold for our troubles. So do need to heal up. There is a healing shrine down there, though. Oh, they had enough defense to withstand the spikes. That's a shame. I've now got weakness. Let's have a look. You can zoom in, by the way, if you want to get a closer look. And the models are actually quite beautifully detailed. You can zoom not too far out, but you can completely change your orientation. And unlike some games, it doesn't snap back to the default, which I'm always thankful for. I would like to visit here. Increase our base draw would give us a lot of benefit. Alright, okay. I think we're going to use Ice Manipulation. We're going to charge somewhere. Let's get you going. I can't quite hit you. It would be wonderful if I could jump up there. I don't think that's going to be happening, but this would allow us to cross 2 tiles for the cost of 1. We'll gain 10 defense by doing it. Finish you off. There we go. And then the 1 more to move in. Now, we do want to get down there if we can, as this is base energy. It's probably one of the most important things to increase. Increasing max health is definitely useful, and base draw is also definitely useful, but energy is probably, or rather, in my opinion, I shouldn't say probably, but in my opinion, it's the most important stat to increase. Oni's still got a lot of difficult terrain to cross over there. Based on the cost of entering terrain, it can only move one 2-tile terrain tile per turn. So we've got many turns before it hits the castle. Still, you don't want to dawdle. Let's dash. We'll gain a bit of defense. Alright, let's have a look here. Gain 1 spike per 4 defense that you have. Wow. Range 4. Charge an enemy on arrival. Gain 8 defense per adjacent enemy. Or explosive shell. Area 2. Consume your defense and deal the same amount of... That's actually quite nice if you can build a very heavy defense build. But we're going to take ice armor. I'm not going to lie. I favor like poison or damage over time or reflective damage, like thorns damage builds in any game where I have the opportunity to do that. So don't be too surprised that I'm very deeply trying to go for that right now. I wish I had a different card here, but we'll see. This is a 0-cost card. Ah, there we go. Gain 8 defense. Perfect. That's what we need. So let's pop parry down. We'll also draw another card. Nothing we really wanted to use, but this one is going to give us 3 spikes. Perfect. That puts us up to 9 now. That is probably enough to defeat any armor they would have from a tile at the very least. There we go. You're now very much... Oh, you actually increased your defense with a card there. Interesting. Let's have a look if we can get more information on that. Reduces the target defense by 6, deals 6 damage, and gains 2 defense, increased by 1 per remaining energy. Okay. So you've got 3 defense, so I need to do... Well, actually, I can do that with pretty much any of these cards, so let's go ahead. Now, sadly, I've got no easy place to go, but I'll pop this down nevertheless. It's the upgraded ice manipulation, and I guess I'll use that to move 1 tile down, just so I gain 2 extra spikes. But I do still need to get over there. Hopefully I'll draw some travel cards here. No. Much sad. Okay. Well, we're going to still be moving into this mountain. Again, the energy is going to be absolutely important to us, so it's worth the detour. But I am burning turns to get here. There we go. Base energy plus. And now we can dash out of there. To get this, it would probably be faster. Or at least more... Yeah, we'll go around. It's fine. I was going to say it may be better to go in here and then rely on getting a dash. I could have seen, actually. Yeah, we are going to get a dash. But I guess in a way it doesn't really matter too much one way or the other. There we are. We're now up to 5, though, which is perfect. Now, can I possibly get enough defense? I'm definitely going to be able to get some. Got a dojo over here. So let's move into that dojo. There we go. Back up to 100 health. Now, you've been activated. Now, based on my upgrades... do I have the first dojo gives... Yes, 1 free upgrade per dojo. Now, that one is a really important one. It's not per mission, but per dojo. So I wouldn't mind getting that upgraded to increase the amount of spikes we can get. As you can see, the ice manipulation card isn't here. And so that tells me that you can only ever upgrade a card once. But we'll go ahead and use that for our free upgrade. And now beyond that, let's have a look. What would this do? Range 5... Gain more defense, draw 2 cards, drops the cost, gain 4 defense there. The strikes just do more damage, basically. 12 defense plus draw 2 cards is very nice. We've got a lot of cash right now. It costs 100 per. Let's increase the draw. And... yeah, I think having 5 there is going to be amazing. And then we'll just upgrade one of the safe travels. There we go. That's a lot of money to have spent, but I'm much more in favor of increasing the potency of my deck rather than increasing the size of my deck. Let's have a look now. Oni's got 1, 2, 3, 4. It'll probably be... Ooh, this is a road. Now, pay close attention to that. Roads only cost 1, even if they are going through forest. So 1, 2, 3. This is technically a road. And then you could probably step off that on that turn, because 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3. We've got about 4 turns before the Oni is over there. We can almost certainly grab this rare card, though. We could even visit the village if we absolutely wanted to. But we have to be ahead of the Oni in order to stop it getting here. And from this point, it's just plain, so it's going to be able to move quickly. That being said, we do have some pretty nice cards, all things told. Now, I think going into the forest is probably the best move here. Playing... see, now that's going to give me 12 defense. Going into the forest and playing this would probably have been a good move, but let's just go ahead and see what we get. And ice manipulation. Sadly, we're not going anywhere, but okay, let's get that down. 4 extra spikes. I'm quite interested to see whether the Oni's burn attack will affect us if we do damage via spikes. There's no point in using that. It won't give me any spikes since I'm not able to move. Now, that was a heavy blow, but you took 13 damage from it. You took a lot more damage than you did to me, but you did use poison. So poison is going to cause me to lose 1 health per turn, and that will tick down each turn. I could upgrade a card here. Every card I've got here, sadly, is already upgraded. Oh well. That would increase my max health, but I'd be behind the Oni if I took that route. So instead, let's see how much, because I don't want to necessarily have to use that if I don't need to. I could jump over there. Got a lot of points still. I could even, if I just stack my defense, potentially, because this for 0 energy is perfect. Let's go ahead and move. Well, actually, let me have a look. This would allow me to jump 3 tiles. I definitely can't get up there, but if I got close enough, I might be able to cut off a lot of the travel time. And you will probably kill yourself on my defenses. That's a basic strike now, so it might be worth me upgrading it. Okay. And this is going to take out both of them. There we go. Now I can only upgrade this strike. All the others are already upgraded. Confirm. Oh, it doesn't look like it actually allowed me to upgrade twice. Never mind then. This over here is a quest. Might be worth me investigating. Sure, let's get a little bit closer and see what happens. Now, Oni will be moving here, and then next turn it's going to be able to move 2 tiles. But let's find out what you've got going on. You feel a sinister aura emanating from nearby. A quick investigation leads you to a red-robed cultist standing in front of a summoning circle that still pulses with dark magic. The man stares at you and begins to speak. You're too late, Mahokenshi. Soon you will be even more so. My brothers have tasked me with delaying your arrival to the castle. Perhaps my challenge will be enough to stop you in your tracks. What will you choose, I wonder? Protecting the realm or its inhabitants? The man laughs, his form starts to shimmer, and then he vanishes entirely. Time was already of the essence, but as the Mahokenshi, you can hardly ignore the massacre that is about to take place. Side quest started. Defeat the feral Oni, summoned by the cult before it destroys the nearby village. Quest reward, base stat increase. Okay. Oh. Well, I'm gonna be honest, that's a little bit of a pain. That does cause me some issues. Alright, so what cards have we got over here? We've got a good chance of drawing some cards that are going to allow me to get close, so let's go ahead. And if luck is with us, we'll get some decent movement cards. Okay, so range of 3. We'll dash here, that's fine. Now, I'd have to move 2 tiles to get there. Yeah, sad. Sad but true. It's going to probably move 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It won't be able to attack the village, but if I approach, it will definitely have to fight me. I don't know if it's got any kind of card which will allow it to attack a nearby tile. So, better safe than sorry. Right, as predicted. This is going to definitely delay me a fair bit. Right, inflicts 3 vulnerability. Not great. Alright. Well, I haven't got a lot of cards here for dealing with you. Equal to my defense. I don't have defense here, sadly. But let's move back. I don't have any innate defense, so I'm not going to be able to deal with that. So I'm just going to protect the village for now. I could move up there, but you would be able to move into the village, so I just need to let you approach. And all the while, you're going to be making... Damn it! This is what I get for poking my nose in other people's business. But as the Mahokenshi, it's kind of my job. Another 11 damage. The spikes are helping out here enormously. Let's use that. Going to move up. Grab some gold. Going to move 2 and then 1 back down. Right, you're going to kill yourself. I could have attacked and just allowed you to attack me, but either way, it was going to come down to you dying on your next turn. So I didn't save any time by doing anything else. We are now in a really dire situation. As the beast falls to your feet, you questions surface in your mind. The cult's main aim was to stall for time and distract you from protecting the castle, but that's not the whole story. Who are these red robe cultists? What role do they play in the greater scheme of things? How was this man able to disappear like that? To your knowledge, such power is reserved to the Mahokenshi and the Flowkeeper monks. No mere mortal should be able to travel so easily. With no answers to be found here, you decide to hurry to the castle, after informing the nearby village that the threat has been eliminated. Relieved and thankful, they offer you some of their relics. The relics they use as protective wards to the village. +1 base energy and +1 base draw. That was actually big. Alright. I need to cover an enormous amount of distance now. We may actually be able to do this thanks to this. Oh, wow. Yes, we will. You're kind of guarded, though, which is a pain in the backside. And no mistake. This tile shouldn't be possible for someone to walk over. So as long as I can stand here, I will block the approach. And that might be all I need to do. Let's go and grab some health. It also removes all negative status effects, you may have noticed. Right, I could... my defense is not high enough. But let's jump in. 24 defense, and then I could probably finish you off, actually. Or just do a whomping great big bit of damage to you. But I'm not sure if you'll simply keep going. Are you tracking? You're tracking your... They may be coming for me now, but I don't know. And this would be a big gamble on that. A big gamble. Still, being up there. But if you move, you've got 1, 2. And then you can move forward into this tile. I think, for now, I'm going to use 1 tile to kill you. And 1 tile to move forward. I could have taken you out, but... Actually, I should have, realistically thinking. Oh well. It was weird, like, for some reason there was some sort of a cognitive dissonance, the idea of dashing towards someone I was already adjacent to. But I should have considered that an option. But there we go. The spikes did a huge amount of damage there. Very, very happy for that. Okay, let's go for draw 2 cards. Get my defense up. Charge an enemy, gain defense. I don't really have anything better after that, though. So let's go for you. I could do 10 damage, draw another 2 cards. We'll see what we get. Alright. Taking a bit of damage myself now. At this point, I could use this to gain 2 spikes. This to dash. I mean, it'd be better if I dashed further. And that to gain more... no. I can't risk it, really. Where would this take me? Oh, it would take me quite far away. That's a shame. That's a shame, because this would give me an enormous amount of spikes. And it would all come down to whether you would go in that direction or not. But I can't risk it. How about this? I'm going to step 1 back. Now, actually, considering it, I should have gone in there to acquire a talisman. But I will charge back, gaining even more defense, and then I will gain 8 spikes. This is going to hurt you a lot more than it's going to hurt me. And there we go. Again, I I just have a great appreciation for damage over time or Thorn's style build. The cult's nightmare. Defeat the cult prophets who summoned the demon. So that was a challenge. I'm getting used to looking for the sort of things that would be challenges in the missions. But there we are. An absolutely fantastic run, if I do say so myself. Golden Strike is a new card that has been unlocked. Deal 15 damage. The Aura of Wealth, Area 2, deal 10 damage. Provoke all enemies in the area. That is actually potentially quite powerful, because as you've seen, we've got some cards that will work based on the amount of enemies that we're surrounded by. And finally, the Dance of the Kappa. Cleanse all negative status effects. If you have no negative statuses, recover 4 health instead. Oh, but all of these cost gold to play. As you can see, you level up your Mahokenshi, and this unlocks new cards for your run. There was a not even close as well. Defeat the burning demon before it reaches the final island. We were on the final island. That's a bit of a shame that we missed out on that one, because all of the challenges that you complete gain you crystals. You also gain experience then through progression. These crystals then allow you to unlock meta progress. Oh, we've unlocked a new character. Sota, House of Jade. The House of Jade sent me. We generally prefer to operate from the shadows, but we have eyes everywhere. I come bearing critical information. One of the cult leaders is about to sacrifice hundreds in pursuit of their twisted schemes. I have devoted my numerous blades to this cause, and you would be wise to make use of them. And that is the way that you unlock the 4 Mahokenshi. We unlocked, let me refresh my Kaito over here. Akaya, you start with. Kaito, we unlocked by completing the first mission. And now Sota, I believe it was, yes, we unlocked by completing the second. I can only assume the Misaki would be unlocked doing this one. But this also highlights that they're not all story progression. You can do side quests as well, and these will allow you to gain points for meta progression. But the ways of the Mahoken, you've got Way of the Sword, Way of Humility, and Way of Valor. This seems to, or at least the very first card, kind of gives you an idea of what they focus on. Way of Valor here increased the starting gold. Way of Humility increased safe travel. Prior to this, safe travel cards didn't have additional defense. But obviously, for a defense focused character, having that +2 defense on safe travel is pretty important. And Way of the Sword over here. Different nodes cost different amounts. We've currently got 100, which should actually allow us to go for any of these. Add 1 talisman slot in castles. We didn't visit the castle, sadly, so I didn't get a chance to showcase how talismans work. Over here, add 1 talisman slot in castle, but then 1 rare card is discounted in the marketplace. Oh, that might not be too bad, considering we did buy a rare card. Add 1 additional common card slot to the marketplace. So these generally upgrade the marketplaces themselves. But over here, the first destruction in a shrine is free. Now that might be very, very good. The first row, or first tier, I guess, only cost 50 crystals, but then they get more expensive as you go down. Add an option to heal in villages. That actually might be quite useful as well. But I think we'll go for the first destruction in a shrine is free. Being able to tidy up our deck is an important one. Now, again, the different characters have quite focused playstyles. Ayaka here has much more of a focus on offense and has specific cards related to that and their kami, and many of them unlocked at later levels. But you can review that by popping into the character and just checking out their collection. You'll see all sorts of cards in here. Let's have a look down. There are a couple that I encountered in my first play with this character that were very, very good. One of them actually gave you more spikes and defense based on the amount of gold you had when you played it. So it was quite a pivotal card, but it did kind of force a style of play where I wasn't spending money on anything. So those free dojo, free destructions, those would play key in that kind of deck. Over here, I imagine we're probably going to see, stealth. So this is a new status here. Surveilling enemies cannot detect you unless you attack them. Tracking enemies will prioritize other units over you. That tells me 2 things. One, that tracking enemies... that stealth exists, but also that enemies can attack other characters. Now, that's very, very interesting. But I imagine we'll probably see poison in here, perhaps. Yeah, there's poison damage over there as well. I don't know what kind of cards would be available with Misaki, but that's perhaps something that we can discover in the future. But that is going to be it for Mahokenshi. I really hope you enjoyed this first look. Again, if you are interested in these styles of games, in the kind of card battler genre, this is definitely worth checking out, and you can find links down in the description below. And once again, a big thank you to Iceberg Interactive for sponsoring this video and affording me the opportunity to check out this fantastic addition to the card battler genre. But that is going to be it from me, so until next time, as always, from myself and all of the Mahokenshi, do take care.